All right, let's just jump right in. We've all seen it happen, right? A brilliant new strategy gets launched, the presentation is amazing, but then out in the real world, nothing really changes. So today, we're going to break down how to build a change agent network. This is the secret weapon to make transformation actually happen.
I mean, isn't it one of the most frustrating things in any company? You've got this solid plan, but somewhere between the big meeting and the daily grind, it just gets lost. Why does this keep happening? Well, here's the heart of the problem. It's this massive disconnect. Leadership sees a clear strategy, straightforward goals, neat timelines. But on the ground, for the people doing the work, it's often just confusion, maybe a little cynicism, because they've seen this before, and the super strong pull of how we've always done things. There's a huge gap. So how do you fix that? How do you bridge that gap? Well, it's not about shouting louder or sending more emails. You need a human bridge, and that's where your change agents come in. So let's be really clear about who we're talking about. A change agent isn't just another manager or someone on the project team. No, these are the people inside the company who actively help their coworkers get it. They translate the corporate speak into what this means for us, and they lead by example. So what makes these people so powerful? What's their secret? It is not their job title at all. Their superpower is one thing: credibility. They are the people their colleagues actually trust and listen to. And that trust, that's the only currency that matters when you're trying to make real change. Okay, let's get practical. How do you actually build one of these networks? Well, it all starts with a super solid foundation. Phase 1 is all about getting the right people on the bus and making sure they know exactly where they're going from day one. And this is absolutely crucial. Don't just pull up the org chart. Ask yourself this. When people are confused or when they're skeptical about something new, who did they go to? Who's that person they trust to give them the real story? Those are your influencers. Those are the people you need. Nothing kills enthusiasm faster than confusion, so you have to be crystal clear. Their job is to be a two-way communication bridge. They bring information to their teams and, just as important, they bring feedback back to the project leaders. And let's be blunt, their role is not to be a dumping ground for extra admin tasks. A clear purpose is everything. So, you've picked your all-star team of agents. Now what? You can't just send them out there and hope for the best. Phase 2 is all about empowerment. It's about giving them the structure, the skills, and the support they need to actually succeed. It really boils down to 3 things. First, give the network a rhythm, a steady beat. Think regular meetings, visible progress, small wins. Second, train them. They need the hard skills, like how to communicate clearly, but also the soft skills, like empathy for handling those tough conversations. And third, and this one's a game changer, truly empower them to take action. Let's dig into that last point because it's so important. The goal here is authenticity. If you give your change agents a word-for-word script, they're going to sound like corporate robots, and nobody trusts a robot. But if you give them a framework, the key messages, the goals, they can say it in their own words. That's what builds trust. Okay, so building the network is one thing, but keeping it going, keeping it effective and full of energy, that's a whole other challenge. So let's talk about phase 3, sustaining that momentum. This, right here, is where so many great efforts just fizzle out. So to keep that momentum, you need to focus on a few key things. Make sure there's a real feedback loop, so what they're hearing actually gets back to leadership. Celebrate their real impact, not just the fact that they showed up. Make sure your executives are visibly supporting them. And hey, refresh the team every so often to bring in new energy. And of course, you've got to track how it's all going. And let's double-click on that celebration piece. This is such a critical distinction. Don't just hand out a thanks for participating certificate. That's empty. Instead, spotlight the real stories. Talk about the outcomes they created. Because of Sarah's feedback, we fixed this broken process. Now that is recognition. That actually means something. So how do you know if it's working? You got to look at the signs. Are people actually showing up and engaging? Is the feedback they're giving you getting better, more specific, more useful? And here's the big one. Are you seeing a real, positive shift in how people feel about the change in their parts of the business? These are your vital signs. So when you put all this together, what's the real payoff? Let's talk about the true power of this kind of network. Because honestly, it's about so much more than just getting one project over the finish line. This says it all, really. A healthy network is your rumor control and your energy amplifier, all rolled into one. It stops the negative whispers before they can take root, and it cranks up the volume on all the positive momentum and success stories. It's your defense and your offense for change. So if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. This isn't about building another box on the org chart. It's about creating a living, breathing pulse that runs through the entire organization. You're building a heartbeat, not a hierarchy. And that really brings us to the final question, the one for you to think about. Look around your own organization. Go beyond the job titles. Who are the people that have the ear and the trust of their colleagues? Because I guarantee you that's where your most powerful agents for change are just waiting.